Welcome to BigGunner81 Live, everyone. I'd like to thank our sponsors, BAT Arms and Eggleston Munitions. BAT Arms is a federally licensed firearms dealer located in Plano, Illinois, with hours by appointment. They offer a large assortment of firearms and accessories, including many unique items that fit your shooting needs. To find out more, check out BAT Arms. Visit their website at batarms.com. And
yeah, give me just a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Toby was interrupting us there. So I was like, what's going on?
Sorry, I thought I muted it.
No, that's all right. We still hear you. So if you're a reloader, I suggest taking a look at Eggleston Munitions and see what they have to offer. Eggleston Munitions is a manufacturer of polymer-coated projectiles which offer the benefits of jacketed projectiles at a price point much more affordable. The best part, they're made right here in the U.S. in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Check them out at egglestonmunitions.com. And our newest sponsor, I want to mention them as well, Tier 1 Training. We can check them out at tier1training.com. Toby is actually on our show tonight with us, and they have all types of firearms training available for you, so check them out. And with that, we're going to start the show. So I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. We've got, first off, we got our guests, Madalyn Stewart and Thomas Stewart here with us. You guys say hello.
Hello.
Thanks for being on the show. And we also have, of course, Ryan, our in-house gunsmith here and match director. And Toby, who is somewhere in the background.
No, I'm back. I am back. Hello.
Okay, he is here. So, anyway.
Sound like you're getting a bunch of messages.
Yeah, just getting my phone's blowing up with messages right now. So it's happening. So where do you want to begin? First, we'll do the beard update. So I don't know. It's been like, I don't know, 3 weeks. You know, my beard. I don't know if I'm gonna be growing it out though to Ryan's operator status there. Moderator kind of suggests that I should keep it short, but we'll see. I'm gonna let it grow a little bit and see how I feel about it, and we'll go from there. So tonight we're gonna be talking about, besides beards, we're gonna be talking with Madalyn and Thomas about junior shooters and 3-gun and so forth. And so again, thanks for being on with us tonight, guys. So let's start out. How did you guys get started in shooting exactly? I mean, like, I imagine that this started with you, Thomas, getting her started. So if you want to tell a little bit about your story first.
Yeah, that's correct. For a career, I'm in law enforcement, so kind of as a direct act for that, to try and get myself a little better prepared for work, I decided to try and get into competitive shooting sports, get a little bit more practice, a little bit more proficiency. So I've been doing that, started that with USPSA, and also Palma shooting, which is a long-range rifle, shooting at 800-900,000 yards. And then from that, kind of progressed into 3-gun. Started that, I shot one match in 2012, just took some of my work gear out and shot the first 3-gun match and got hooked on it. Figured out what I needed as far as gear-wise and practice-wise to get better, and then came back the next year, and the second match I shot, I won. Ended up coming in first place in that one, and then ended up getting Madalyn started into it as well.
Wow. So when did Madalyn actually start? When did you start shooting, Madalyn?
I started shooting just like with a lot of help around in our backyard when I was around 4. And then after that, my dad started me in air rifle when I was around 8. And then after that, after I had like the fundamentals, I moved into Steel Challenge with a .22 pistol. And then after that, I moved into USPSA, which brought in more of the moving. And then I started 3-gun.
Cool.
Yeah, so she had a couple of years of shooting indoor leagues over the winter with the 3 and 4 position air rifle and small bore. So that's, you know, a totally different game than this, but it builds all the fundamentals for the accuracy end of it. So then trying to transition the speed of the 3-gun into it, you know, that was a total change, but it's really benefited in the fact of when we get to the long range portions of stages. I mean, she normally does those better than me, going 1 for 1 on, you know, the 300-yard targets. So the fundamental cores at that 3 and 4 position, slow game really paid off in the end.
Right on. I mean, that's something I always thought too. When women, from what I've heard, women when they start shooting, a lot of times they're better at actually than us men, as far as accuracy and everything is concerned. You know, I've experienced that, taking women that are new into shooting to do pistol shooting and seeing how well they shoot just right off the bat.
Well, I think a lot of it is the ego. They don't have. A lot of times guys come in, they've been practicing on their own, build a lot of bad habits, and they come into trying to do it with an ego of they know how to do it and don't really want to listen, where you get somebody that's new, open to try things. I mean, they're really open to proper technique and proper instruction. There they build the good fundamentals right off the start.
Right on. So, again, what was the first match that you ended up shooting, Madalyn?
The first match I shot was at Fort McCoy.
Okay. And where is that again? I mean, I hate to ask that question because I don't know. Where is it located?
It's near Toma, Wisconsin, kind of north central Wisconsin.
Okay, right on. Because I don't remember all of them as far as the forts and the bases and all that stuff go, but that's pretty neat. How did that first match go for you?
It was pretty rough.
Yeah, like what was something you took away from that as a success that you did?
Not DQing, being safe the whole entire match.
Right on. That's always a good thing, not to DQ, for sure.
I think one of her biggest challenges with some of those early matches, because she started when she was 11, was a lot of the ports they had set up that she had to shoot through. She'd have to be on her tippy toes to even see through the ports to get the target. So that was a bit of a challenge at the start.
Yeah, I can see that too. What else was I gonna ask? So, what guns did you start out shooting with? That's a question too.
I started out shooting 22 and air rifle, and then when I moved into 3-gun, I work a lot with the 22 rifle because we have one set up that's pretty similar to my 3-gun rifle. So I practice with that, and then I just use my shotgun, and sometimes I use a 22 pistol for practicing.
Okay, what kind of 22 pistol do you use?
Ruger Mark II.
Okay, and what pistol do you shoot now, full size, I guess, or for a regular caliber?
A Glock 34, or 9mm.
Okay, Glock 34, okay. How is that the transition between the two as far as from practice?
It's not that bad. I like working with a 22. It helps me because I have a tendency to anticipate the recoil with my pistol, so it works well using that.
Okay. Right on. So what do you use as far as your shotgun?
I use a Beretta 1301.
Nice, good choice. And what do you use for the rest of your gear? Like for your shotgun shells and everything, what do you use for your caddies and all that?
I use TACOM caddies. Those work the best for me. And
that's about it for the shotgun. Is just the caddies. Everything else is loading.
Right on.
I use TACOM too.
Yeah, they seem to work really well. We've got both the chest rigs and the regular dual and double deuce belt rigs. Haven't tried their magnetic ones yet. We don't have any of those yet. We played around with them. They seem like an awesome thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to probably switch over to those over the winter and be ready to go with those next year.
Definitely. I saw those over at, he had a booth over there at Nationals in Tulsa, and he pulled those out and was showing us, and it was the prototype, and I was intrigued. I didn't know they were on the market yet.
And was Tim actually out there?
Oh yeah, it was a guy that owns a company. I forget his name. Sorry.
Yeah, Tim.
Yeah, those magnetic ones are awesome because they hold in there really solid, so they're not going to pop out on you when you're running or bumping into things. But when they come out so smooth that you don't have to yank them out where they get disturbed in your hand and kind of mess out, because the pull's the biggest thing with quad loading is you can straighten your hand after you pull them out, and they come out so smooth that they're not getting disrupted on the way out.
Right. I've heard the only issue with those is I shoot double A's a lot, and I heard they have issues holding the brass heads in.
Yeah, because they're not magnetic then. Yeah, I can see that. I haven't tried them, so I can't say yes or no with that. But I can see that would be an issue. It seems like most of the shotgun shells are now the cheap steel tin head on them, so without the real brass.
Right on.
Yeah, I shoot double A's too. Dang it.
So back to the matches. I was going to say. So you had your first one, and then how did your progression from there go? Like, what was the next? What was the next match you did?
Well, she did several local 3-gun matches. Her first major match, I'll let you talk to her about that. She was still 11. It was in June, so it was early on in the first year she was doing it. I was going to shoot the Nordic Tactical Shotgun match. So that's 300 rounds of 12 gauge in a matter of a couple of days with a lot of slugs and buckshot, and I gave her the option to shoot it, and she wanted to do it. So that was her first major, right after she started shooting the Nordic tactical shotgun.
Yeah, that was a really big challenge considering my shotgun was bigger than me at that time.
Wow.
Beat me up a lot, but it worked.
Right on. So what was the first major match that you got into?
That was the Nordic one, and then
Oh, the Nordic one?
my first one after that was the Gen 3.
Yeah, probably the first major 3-gun match that she shot was the Gen 3 last year, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Nice. And that was Gen 3, I know. Wasn't Jesse Tischhauser part of that too?
Yep, Jesse Tischhauser and Chad Francis. I mean, there's Jesse does a lot of the promotions for it. Chad and Jeff are the ones that pretty much organize most of it. Yeah, they ran, that's an awesome organization. They take all the proceeds from that and turn it around into like a scholarship type program, providing scholarships for junior 3-gunners to shoot major 3-gun matches. Because now as you guys know, it's an expensive sport. Multiply that by 2, it's even harder to make that decision to take more people with you. So by having that scholarship out there, that's a great incentive for more people to bring their kids along and get them started.
Okay.
Definitely.
Cool.
Yeah, I heard they gave away something like $10,000 last year, or the 2015 season.
Yep, that's what I saw that as well. We didn't apply for any scholarships because, I mean, she's been very lucky with sponsors. I mean, just about all of her matches have been sponsored slots this year for her entries, except for some of the smaller local matches, but all her major matches have been sponsored. So we haven't submitted an application for any scholarships for it this year, but I had heard that as well, that they gave out like $10,000 this year, which is great.
Yeah, it's incredible. We actually applied for it for the match that we shot with you. My stepson and I, we applied for him, and got half of the War Sport match fee back.
Yep.
For his participation, which was great.
Yeah.
Cool. So you guys have any other questions? Do you guys have Ryan and Toby for them?
Not yet. Madalyn, how old are you?
I just turned 13.
You're 13 now. Okay, that's what I was wondering off the start. So juniors go till 17, right?
Yeah, I believe you, as long as you are 17, yes. I mean, some of the different matches have different rules. Some of them are, if you're 17 at all during the year. Other ones, it's the break. If you turn 18 at the day of the match, you're no longer a junior. So it kind of varies from rule to match to match, I would guess.
Okay, I only have two junior shooters that show up to my 3-gun match, and I think they're both are 12 and 13.
Okay.
Just curious. Still got a few years.
Yeah.
It's good. We try to do something special for them, like a juniors prize table kind of stuff. And
yeah, some of the matches that we shoot at, like the Polo 3-gun match in Illinois, it's the 3-Gun Nation Club Series match. They don't have a separate prize table for the juniors, but they have a separate division for a plaque for the winner of the division for that match. So that, I almost think the plaques are a better thing for juniors, more important to juniors than walking off with some gun parts. Then they've got the plaque and go and show their friends.
Yeah, that's something we're working into, is getting some little plaques or little trophy things rather than for placement and do the prize table at random.
Yep.
Works a little bit better for club matches. Saves time.
Yep, exactly.
Whoa.
Nice. And by the way, I have a comment here off of Facebook as well. Actually, Jay Carrillo mentioned that the new TACOM MG will work with the Winchester AA's. I don't know if we made a comment about that a few minutes ago.
Yeah, we were talking about them not being magnetic. That's
right.
awesome.
So the new magnetic placement allows for this. I'll have a video out this week to show him, he says. So you can check out his YouTube or his Facebook. Jay Carrillo kind of mentioned that. So
cool.
Very awesome. I wanted to just mention that. So he is listening, apparently.
I'll be sure to share that from your page there, Jay. Jay's actually the one that set me up with my rifle through Armalite.
Yeah, he's helped us a lot, as we kind of progress through this, getting into taking this a little more seriously. I mean, he's a very good ambassador for the sport.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. And he says, "Way to go, Stewarts!" By the way. I just my stuff's blowing up here, so that's why I keep hearing all these chimes and everything in the background, because everybody is watching and sending us stuff about it. If you guys get comments in as well, go ahead and you feel free to share them. And those of you guys out there watching, you know, if you're not aware, you can comment on the YouTube channel, and you can also comment on my Facebook. Gun Websites is also watching us. They said have good show and everything. So we are interactive in a sense for you guys to be able to talk to us. Actually, Gun Websites had a couple questions. Well, he said, is there any issues with school, being that you're into shooting? Like, I don't know what he means specifically by that. Like, have you had any, Madalyn, have you had any issues with any of your friends or anybody at school because you're into competitive shooting sports?
Well, with my friends, I don't have any problems with them. A lot of my friends don't really know exactly what I do. They just know I leave school and travel around the country and shoot stuff. That's what their understanding of it is. A lot of my friends think it's cool, but I've had a couple of friends who are like, how many people get shot doing this? How many people get killed doing that? And obviously nobody.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say a quick hello.
Hey, Steve.
Steve, how you doing?
Celebrity
Maybe
stand-in.
nice little cameo from Steve at Janice at Double Out Arms.
Yeah, I just wanted to say great job, and we're proud to have you part of our team out there, showing the good fight and good shooting and good everything out there. You guys are doing a great job representing us.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Steve, for stopping by as well. We're looking forward to seeing you at SHOT Show next month, too.
What's that?
We're looking forward to seeing everybody at SHOT Show next month, too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna stop by the booth,
I know I am.
Madalyn?
I'm not going.
Yeah, we're not going to be there.
Oh, really?
For some reason, I thought you guys were going to make it. I know you mentioned you have a banner. There's a banner or some stuff out there with you guys on it.
We'd like to go, but
Someplace.
I've only got so much vacation time from work, and I'd rather spend it shooting.
Right on. That's understandable.
It's a never-ending battle on my end with my family. You
Yep.
guys spent 10 days out there.
Wow.
So, but anyway, keep up the good work, and I just wanted to say hello and congratulations again on your great season, and can't wait to see you do better this season.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. See you, Steve.
Take care, guys. Gotta go.
Later, man.
Bye.
That's always cool. So,
Yeah,
awesome.
back to the school thing. We really haven't had too many problems. When she was still in the grade school, it was a little bit of an issue with the principal. The middle school principal for us has been awesome to work with. As long as we let them know what's going on ahead of time, I mean, she's been able to maintain straight A grades, so really has been an issue with them for that. They know that she can keep up on the work and isn't falling behind. We let them know ahead of time so she can get her work done. We kind of give her some rules as to what she can and can't talk about at school to try and avoid bringing up issues as sensitive as people are with guns. And she had a problem with that one time because after we had a meeting with her principal, kind of explaining what we were doing and showed her some of the videos, and that was after she was on I can't remember if it was ABC or NBC Nightline. We showed her that, clip from it was going to be on the news for that. Well, apparently after that, the next teachers meeting that they had, the principal played some of her three-gun shooting videos for all the teachers in the conference. So then the next day, Madalyn, goes to school and has all these teachers coming up to her and asking her about it, and she's like, "I'm not supposed to talk about it at school. I'm not supposed to," So we really haven't had too many problems. I mean, it's obviously there's missing days of school, so that's an issue that we have to deal with. But so far, we haven't had any major problems with it.
Right on. There was also a couple. Sorry, go ahead.
Good that she's able to share that with some of her teachers. It's just sad that she has to censor herself about a sport that she loves and a sport that really goes to some of the most fundamental rights in our country.
Yep, I agree with that. But right now everything's going smooth, so we don't really want to rock the boat too much.
Well, amen. So I won't push you any further than that, but
So you have a couple other questions on that too, or a couple comments and questions both. So from gunchannels.com, websites, it was asking, what type of training do you do, Madalyn, and are there any other action shooting sports that you like better than 3-gun, or any events that you prefer over others? And they also wanted to say, his comment too is, thanks for being a great ambassador to the shooting sports, to the next generation of shooters.
Thank you. Yeah. So 3-gun is by far my favorite. Through 4-H, I do trap and 22 rifle 3 position, and I do 22 pistol as well. But 3-gun is definitely my favorite. I also do Steel Challenge and USPSA, like I said before. Some of the things that I practice that like make the most difference for me is like picking up guns and all the transitions in between shooting when you're not shooting. So like picking up guns, dumping them, and like loading, stuff like that.
Okay, right on. And what about as far as the actual, like, I don't know if you mentioned this already about you said you like to do 3-gun, but was there any other types of shooting matches that you like to do besides 3-gun? Any pistol matches or anything else like that?
About all I do is USPSA and Steel Challenge.
Okay, all right. But you prefer 3-gun over those?
Yeah.
Okay, right on. So, are there any particular matches that you prefer, like that are your favorite to attend at this point? That you, or I guess that would be one way to say it. Like, is there any particular matches you're looking forward to that you really want to go to again that you have maybe done already once?
Well, I really like the Gen 3 match because there's a lot of juniors there as well, so it's not like I'm the only woman and the only junior there. There's more people that can relate to me there. I like a lot of the major matches because of that reason.
The war sport.
Yeah, the war sport was really fun because it brought into like the team aspect. So my dad and I could compete together. So that was really fun and challenging.
Right on. The war sport, if I remember right, I've heard a little bit about that one. That's basically a team match, pretty much, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so it's a male-female match.
Yeah, for the team has to have one member of the 2-person team has to either be a female or a junior shooter.
Oh, right on.
So it draws a lot more people into the match, you know, for the team part of it, because you have a lot more shooters looking for a partner and, you know, actively recruiting them. So it was an awesome match to shoot. It was a lot of fun. I mean, bringing in that whole team aspect, I mean, not only getting to shoot the match as a partner with my daughter, but just the whole team strategy, because there's a lot more to that match than just, you know, shoot and hit the target. I mean, you had to pick and choose who had what strength in what area to try and manage what shooter was going to take what part of that stage.
no doubt.
Right on.
I gotta check that out next year. It sounds fun.
Yeah, it was probably one of the funnest matches we've shot this year.
Cool.
Where's that at?
North Carolina.
That's
Okay.
I forgot. That's, what is the place called? Is it Woody's or something? It's called.
Woody's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Woody's Hunt.
Woody's Hunting and Rifle Club.
Right on. Because see, this is like stuff that I'm still learning about. Because as you know, you guys are still kind of somewhat. Well, you've been doing it probably more. You have a lot more matches on your belt than I have, obviously. But I'm still much new to this and learning about all these different matches and all the different places that they're held and all the people that are involved. So sometimes I may have questions that may sound like, hey, you should already know that by now or something, you know, but I don't. I'm learning just the same.
Yeah, and Charles Soule was the match director for that, so he helped set up all the stages. So it's definitely a challenging match. I mean, it's not just an easy go out and shoot what you see match. And it's got some challenges built into it, that's for sure.
Right on. And is there,
Nice.
speaking of challenges, what kind of challenges have you faced, Madalyn, as a junior shooter?
Well, a lot of stages aren't really designed for shorter people, per se, so some of the ports will be way too tall for me, and I'll have to stand on my tippy toes, which obviously isn't a very good shooting position. So that's one problem. A lot, like slugs.
I remember that too from the AFC. We had that one stage, I think it was stage 6, and back in May that you're having trouble with, I think, right getting over some of the different. What was it like you said? The portholes are in the wall or whatever. I think, if I remember right.
Yep.
I vaguely remember this. That's why it was a long time ago, back in May. But I'm like thinking that that makes sense of what she's saying. That I saw that. So
that one had that piece of plywood that had like 10 different odd-shaped holes cut in it.
Exactly. That's the one.
Only about half of them were usable by her.
Yeah.
I know one of our guys from what we call our senior division. His older guy. He's very tall. He can stand and shoot over the top of that section. Believe it or not. So. Yeah, 3-gun, all shapes and sizes and stuff are involved in it, so it can make it challenging and sometimes even a little easier in some cases, but for people. But besides that, what else have you encountered?
Well, slugs and buckshot, I don't get a lot of chances to practice that, so that's also harder for me, and I don't like those.
Right.
Why does it kick?
What's that, Ryan?
Does it kick hard?
Oh, yeah. It's not too bad, but it's definitely more.
Spinners.
Oh yeah, another challenge
There you
like
go.
like Death Star and the stars. I don't like those, and spinners specifically for shotgun or pistol. I do not like those because you have to shoot the bottom and then the top, and then it has to make a 360, and those are not fun.
Yeah, I have yet to actually shoot one other than the one. Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, no, I was going to say those are tough, especially with a 9mm.
Yeah. And she had the opportunity to shoot the illustrious Death Star out of match this year, so it actually went pretty good for her. So.
Nice. With pistol or shotgun?
Shotgun.
Nice. Hey, I was going to ask you guys, do you take advantage of switching out different chokes? You use like diffuser chokes and stuff?
Yeah, we don't use the diffuser per se. We both use cylinder choke for the vast majority of things. And then, if we have something that's either a smaller target at a more, longer distance, where it's getting fewer pellets on it or a heavy one, then we'll normally switch up to a modified. I'd say probably 75% of the stages we run straight cylinder, and then the rest would be a modified. I also keep a full choke and improved cylinder there as well. We've only used a full choke a couple of times, and that was for some heavy, rusty spinners to get them to flip.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was thinking about getting one of those diffuser chokes. And I was watching the footage I had from the Pro Series shoot-off, and they're shooting so fast, but their pattern is so big.
Yep.
At 10 yards.
Yeah. I don't have a diffuser yet, so I just run the straight cylinder. But a lot of times, if you're trying to run a fast clay spread with that cylinder, then I normally run 9-shot for that. It normally gets a pretty dense spread-out pattern where it's going pretty good for us.
I love my diffuser.
Yeah, I only have one choke for my shotgun right now, and it's a improved cylinder. I shoot everything through it.
Yep.
It seems to be pretty accurate with slugs, though. One of those Remington sluggers.
Okay. Yeah, we use the Federal low recoil ones.
Okay, yeah, I can't. I'm running a Super Black Eagle that's been modified to accept shells less than 3.5 inches. So low recoil stuff doesn't cycle very well.
Okay.
Very cool.
We've been pretty lucky with the Beretta shotguns running the light loads, even the Winchester AA, the extra light ones. 1 ounce, really low recoil for those. It's kind of nice for fast close clays and burn through them quick.
Absolutely.
I haven't worked on one of those for a while, but they are a gas piston gun.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. I remember opening one up and thinking that it looked very similar to the inside of an M4.
Yep.
So that's good.
Yeah, we both run that Beretta 1301. I used to run a FN SLP, but then after we got her the 1301, because it's got the shorter buttstock right from the get-go, so to fit her better, I started using hers every so often in practices, and I was able to run target selection, faster than I was able to run it with my SLP that had been shooting how many rounds through. So the next year I ended up buying myself one too, and then converted the FN over to an XREL open gun.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's what I mentioned earlier to you about running the FN SLP comp at this last match I was at. That's the first time I've actually done the shot shell loading and so forth, and it's a learning experience,
Yep.
But, I didn't realize. I thought the FNH was actually shorter than the Beretta 1301 as far as the stock goes, but no?
Stock, yep. Yeah, not the stock. seems like a lot of the shotguns, I mean, they advertise having the adjustable stock, but it seems like it's a full-length stock, and then they had spacers where you can make it longer than full-length, where the Beretta starts down at, I think it's 13 1/4, 13 1/8 inches, and then they have spacers that bring it up to, you know, your normal 14 or 14 1/2 inch length of pull. So it was kind of nice with that, and not having to go through the hassle of trying to cut it off and, you know, refitting the recoil pad.
So, speaking of the shotgun and guns, one of the things I didn't think we covered was, what do you shoot for a rifle, Madalyn?
I shoot, it's like a mixture of a bunch of stuff, but the upper, yeah, Franken gun. The
I was
upper,
looking at your pictures. It's really green.
Yes, everything is green with her.
the upper and the lower is Devil Dog, and then I have a ADM buffer and bullet carrier, and then I have an ADM handrail. Oh yeah, I have a Criterion barrel.
What about your trigger?
I have a Timney trigger, and I have a Vortex Razor scope.
What do you have for your compensator on there too?
I have a Surefire lightweight one.
Yeah. Sorry about the cat.
That's all right.
Oh, it's the cat again.
I missed what you said as far as your compensator though there for a second.
It's a Surefire lightweight compensator.
Oh, Surefire. Okay, sorry. Just Toby was asking a question on our side chat here about, not to get off topic, but let's ask this real quick. He said, does the 1301 have an auto load feature?
With what?
Auto load.
Yeah, like the A5.
Oh, does the 1301 have that? No, it does not.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking about buying an A5 just for the auto load feature, but I think I've decided my 930 isn't broke, so I'm not going to fix it.
Yep.
Right on. And speaking of, you mentioned about ADM too, about your bolt carrier being ADM. Thomas, you were mentioning about us doing a giveaway.
Yes. ADM is one of our sponsors, so they've agreed with this show to let Rick run the drawing however he wants to with his Facebook page or web page with that. But ADM is going to offer one of their premium bolt carrier groups as a giveaway to one of the listeners of the show here.
Yeah, I've got that up on the display here. So after the show, I'll be posting up a link, actually posting on Facebook for that giveaway. So you guys can go ahead and just enter it on there. It'll take a little while, but we'll get it posted for you, and we'll draw a winner probably by next week. And also, as well, we were talking about doing a second giveaway on next week's show for Extreme Bullets. They have a gift certificate that they're going to offer to us as well, you said?
Yeah. Extreme Bullets also offered another giveaway to do on the show for one of our sponsors. So they're going to do a $50 gift certificate to whoever you draw as the winner. And then along with that, anybody that's listening to this can use a 5% discount code that we have through Extreme Bullets. So anything that you order through the end of the year, you can get 5% off on top of any other discounts that they're already running.
And that's
all you have to do is enter MS 2015 XP at the checkout, and you'll should get 5% taken off your order.
Say that one more time, because I think there's some noise in the background. Ryan's in there, maybe. The coupon code for Extreme Bullets?
MS 2015 XB. So,
XB. Okay. And then I also was going to mention, too, speaking of ADM a minute ago, if I didn't say this, that I've got one of their mounts, actually, I bought for my Vortex here. Their ADM quick release, quick detach mount, scope mount on here. So I like it. It's pretty cool. So it's built really nice. Can't say enough good things about that. So thank you. Oh, you guys are showing you got your stuff there.
Yeah, I've got my scope on as well, and they laser engraved my name into it.
And it's green.
Yeah, that's cool. Awesome. What optic are you running on there again? I'm assuming it's a Vortex, right?
Yep, a Vortex Razor.
Nice. That's a good setup.
Yep, it's one of the 1-6s with that Jerry Mickwick reticle.
Right. I've seen that in person, and it's a very nice scope.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's got awesome clear glass, so it's great for the long-range targets. But I think the thing that draws me and I like the most about that one is when you have it down on 1X and you got the red dot on, it's just like shooting through an aim point. I mean, you have no negative part of having a longer range optic on there by having that bright dot in the center. And you know that thing when it's on 1X, you can see with both eyes open, it's just like it's not even there. The red dot's just superimposed on the target, and you drive it fast.
Right on. I just got a note too from the guys at Gun Channels too. They're offering to let us give away one of their patches, I guess, as well. So we'll figure that out at some point too. Very nice, generous offer on their part, because they do some cool patches and whatnot. And yeah, so I appreciate the support we're getting from your sponsors and from these guys and everybody out there that want to help us try to get the word out about doing the show and everything. And sometimes it can be distracting. You'll see me looking at stuff because there's a lot going on my end with a lot of questions that come in and a lot of comments from people and so forth, which is great, and I appreciate that, and so forth. So, Toby and Ryan, you guys got any thoughts or any questions you want to ask yet?
No, I don't have any questions right now, buddy.
Okay. I have a question for you too, by the way. You have younger people at home too. You have kids. Do they do any of the 3-gun stuff with you? They're juniors.
My oldest son and oldest daughter have dabbled in IDPA just a little bit. As actually their high school sports during the winter, because their school they have to shoot 3 sports throughout, or they have to play through 3 sports throughout the year. And their school was willing to let them use IDPA as their winter sport indoors. My oldest stepson actually shot war sport this year with me, and he's kind of getting into 3-gun. And now that my oldest son has graduated the police academy and his school schedule's starting to taper down a little bit at college, he's going to start getting into the 3-gun here. I just got done building him a rifle. Setting his pistol up. We're getting his belt set up, so this year is going to be his first 3-gun year. So yeah, it's gonna become a family function and get real expensive for Dad real fast.
Right
Nice.
on. You said shooting it through like school and whatnot. So that's like,
That's awesome.
were you saying that's something that actually goes on through school?
No, it's not actually the school that does it. The school mandates that they play sports throughout the entire year. And they consider it 3 seasons, spring, winter, and fall, and they consider IDPA to be their winter sport.
Okay, I got you now. I just misunderstood that. That's pretty awesome, though. That at least, even though it's not through the school, it's something that can be included as part of that curriculum requirement.
Yeah, it took a little explaining, and I'm sure with me being involved in law enforcement and being a law enforcement instructor, I was able to sway the school a little bit or easier than some other people were, but yeah, they took to it fairly well. But it's a private school too; it's not a public school.
Okay, yeah, that makes a little more sense too. That it's a little more accepted in that way.
I had a question too, but I was on mute when I tried to ask it.
That's all right.
My wife's cooking dinner a few feet away. I was going to ask her, are you guys both running Glock 34s?
She's running a Glock 34. I use a 35, but I've got an EKM barrel and bringing it down to a 9mm, so it's basically the same as a 34.
What triggers are you guys using? Special?
She prefers the a Van Eyck one.
Okay.
One of the Charlie Van Eyck ones in there. It's a really nice trigger, but it's got a longer pull and a longer reset, but it's extremely smooth. I've got a DK Custom in mine. It's not quite as smooth as hers is, but it's got a shorter reset. So it's kind of toss up between the two. That's just our own individual preference of how we like them set up.
Are you running low weight? Like trigger pull wise?
Yeah, right around 3.5.
Here you go.
Not ultra low, but about as low as you can really reliably get with a Glock.
Really? Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, I still have not yet to purchase my first Glock, so I've not had much experience with them. I've shot a few, but not a ton.
Your show has 4 Glock shooters on it right now, so let's get on the bandwagon there, Rick.
I agree. In fact, I think my next one is going to be the Glock 19 for concealed carry, though. I'm seriously thinking about purchasing that this week.
Yeah,
That's what I carry.
yeah, I use a 23. It's the same thing, but just in 40 caliber for that.
Right on.
Glocks are cool for 3-gun, man. You can just ditch them right in the barrel and not have to worry about your safety popping off.
Exactly.
Saw a lot of DQs in Alabama for that.
That's what I've actually have seen and heard, too. That's one of the biggest advantages to the Glock. And I know, like, I run a SIG, but that's just because that's what I have right now, and it's not the most ideal for 3-gun. But it is what it is,
Yeah, it's a combat weapon, my friend.
Well, it's only a weapon if you use it as such. It's a firearm otherwise. That's my opinion, anyway.
There you go.
So, yeah, what else do you guys want to talk a little about some of your sponsors? I mean, we know we mentioned a few of them.
Yeah, one of our kind of the big changing sponsors for us that we got this year wasn't something that I really thought about before we got the sponsorship offer from them. We've always been using the amplified earmuffs, the Pelter ones, because I think it's real important to, especially having the junior shooter, to not have things just totally muffled out. So we've always used the electronic amplified earmuffs, so she can hear what's going on, whether it's me coaching her or the ROs, and you just has better awareness of what's going on around her. So we always wore the big earmuffs. She ran into a real problem with that loading the shotgun. It wasn't a huge problem with the rifle, or the shotgun shooting, but every time she'd go to do the dual or quad load where you put the buttstock up on your shoulder, a lot of times she'd whack her earmuffs off. Wild Ear out of Minnesota approached us, and they make the amplified in-ear, custom-made earplugs.
Wow.
And they are awesome. It's something I probably wouldn't have thought much about getting. I mean, I saw people with them and that kind of stuff, but now after having them, we've run them for probably 3/4 of this season.
What is your website again?
Wild Ear Hearing Boosters. They're based out of Minnesota, just north of the Twin Cities.
Okay.
The company's primary focus with their product is for hunters, duck hunters, pheasant hunters, that kind of thing, trap shooting. But they also go into the action shooting sports as well. So once we tried those, I mean, it was night and day difference.
That's these guys right here, I take it.
Correct.
Okay, I'll share that with everybody too, so they can see this. Because I've experienced that similar problem before, where not necessarily doing the shotgun loading, but where I've knocked my earmuffs and stuff, my hearing protection out a little bit, and that can really mess you up bad. And
Yeah.
I like running the regular hearing protection because I can put my camera on it. But if it's gonna be getting knocked off, it's useless then at that point. But it hasn't happened enough times I can justify it yet. But I have considered this kind of an option as well. So it's very cool to hear about them and check them out. So that's why I want to kind of show their website so people can go take a look at them as well.
Yeah, we also have a discount code if anybody's interested in getting those. If you use Stewart10, you'll get 10% off your order with those.
Cool.
And they also have a really good kind of program for juniors. I think 12 years old is the age where they'll start making the custom form fits for your ears and that stuff. And for the juniors, between the time that you purchase them and the time that they turn 18, because obviously they're going to be growing, and not too many people want to have those things that be disposable.
Yeah.
They will refit them twice. They'll make new molds, take the electronics out of them, reinsert them, and kind of give them an update to make sure everything's still working good in a new mold that'll fit their ear. So
here's a question about that process. If you're going to buy those, just since you've been through this already, how does that work to get them custom fitted? Do they send you something you have to put in your ear to make that mold off of, or how does that work?
Yep. You can either do it with them. If you're close to them, they'll do it for you. If not, they'll send you in the mail a kit with like a silicone forming, like a 2-part epoxy type stuff you mix together, and then press it in your ear, let it harden, and then pop it out. We did it ourselves when we talked to him. He said, if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself, you can take it to any local hearing aid shop or something like that, because it's the same process they use for fitting those, and let somebody else fit it for you and make the mold. We just did it ourselves, and it turned out pretty good.
Cool, because I've seen that fitted ear protection before, and I didn't. They weren't electronic, but I was like, that's a really nice concept. To get something that's really going to work really well, and I'm glad you brought that up. So, continuing on with the rest of your sponsors, so we got on that little bit of a tangent to talk about that for their products, but.
Extreme Bullets is another one that we got picked up by this year. I mean, they've been a huge help. ammunition costs in this sport, especially when you times it by 2, are enormous, especially with our travel schedule and the matches that we shot. I mean, we shot 27 matches this year. 14 of them were out of state in 8 different states. So we went through a lot of ammo and a lot of miles on the vehicle doing a lot of traveling.
Yes, I can imagine. Like
just for shotgun shells, because that one's easy to keep track of. I mean, we went through 22 cases of shotgun ammo this year.
Wow. Nice.
Extreme Bullets has been great to pick them up as a sponsor. I mean, they use their projectiles for both rifle and pistol.
Yeah.
Also, they sponsored some great matches. That Extreme Bullets match that we shot down in Copperhead Creek, Texas, that was awesome. Great match. Long-ass drive, but it was an awesome match to shoot.
Like
I said, my first out-of-state match, and that was about a 14-hour ride almost. So I can relate to the driving, and it gets expensive, and it can be tiresome to drive that far.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, so we kind of do it as a family vacation because my wife and my younger son, we all go along. So it's see some sights on the way, and
so you take a little more extra time off than just the regular weekend for the match or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you register for Florida?
No, we're not going to do that one this year. That's not in our plan right now. So we're not going to do the regional that's coming up now.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Alabama, Texas.
Alabama one, we're going to plan on doing the Alabama and the one in South Carolina.
Okay, cool.
Those regionals and then the national.
Did you do Alabama last year or this year?
Nope. Yeah, we didn't do any of the regionals this year.
Okay, that's a really cool venue as well, the Brock's Gap Training Center.
Okay. Yeah, with my work schedule, it's kind of hit or miss if I can get off, because I basically work 3 weekends out of the month, so it burns a lot of vacation to get to the matches, and some of the weekends I can't get off. So
hopefully it's a little bit cooler and less humid this year. That really kicked my butt going from cool, dry Arizona over to hot, humid Alabama. On the way home,
no kidding.
I went from I had to leave the match. I took a shower in that little shack up on top of the hill, got in the car, and had to go to the airport. And I was so dehydrated, my muscles stopped working when I was driving the vehicle. My hands started cramping, my back cramped up. It was crazy.
Oh, wow.
That's an important thing, to stay hydrated. And most of our events obviously take place in the summertime when it's hot, and that can become an issue. I think it was over 100 degrees in our events this past summer.
And it gets more complicated than that, too, because I was slamming water. I drank 2 gallons of water a day when I was out there, but I wasn't eating enough food. Apparently, your body needs food in it to be able to absorb water. So I was low on electrolytes.
It needs that sodium.
Oh, man, I got to the airport. I was sitting there dripping sweat, sitting on a bench, eating a pack of $12 nuts and drinking some coconut water. That was like $8. People were walking by looking at me like I was a crackhead or something, but I was just dripping, and it was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I tried to drive home that night after the prize table, and I made it till about 12:30 that night, right up to about Athens, Alabama, and I was done.
Wow.
Yeah, it normally doesn't work good driving long distance after the match.
Yeah.
No. No, I agree with you guys on that one. We kind of stopped in part of your sponsorships and stuff, I think. We got off on tangents.
Devil Dog Arms. Obviously, you guys talked to Steve quite a bit. They're one of our primary sponsors this year. They've been awesome with the rifles, products, and they've been supporting a lot of matches across the country. I mean, that's what's helped us make as many trips across the country as we have, is all the matches that they've been sponsoring and then getting us slots that we can go shoot for them in. So they've been an awesome sponsor. Along with Devil Dog, we've been running the ADM parts, with their receivers, and then the Criterion barrels. We just switched to them halfway through the year. I was having problems with the first barrel that I put on Madalyn's lightweight AR that we built for her. And we happened to meet one of the guys from Criterion one of the days when we were out at the range, and we started talking to him, and we ended up getting a sponsorship from them and have been running their barrels this last half of this year, and nothing but positive stuff to say about their barrels. It's kind of nice they're close to us in Wisconsin, so we've been able to do a few trips up to the factory, and they've take us through the whole process of how they make them, and it's kind of nice to see that. Kind of know the backstory behind the product that you're using.
I received a question regarding the sponsorship too. The question was, do you have to shoot good and then sponsors come out to you, or do you seek out sponsorships on your own?
95 sponsors we've had have been product that we've already purchased and been using, and a lot of the company employees and owners for these matches, I mean, they're at the matches. So I mean, most of it has been meeting them that way. I mean, it's not like us sending out mass emails, cold calling, trying to seek out free stuff. I mean, that's really not how it works, because that's not what the companies want.
Right.
I mean, they want somebody that's going to represent their product good and shoot good, but I think they're more looking for a good brand ambassador than they are just somebody that finishes first every time.
Right, that's what I've been hearing as well as far as sponsorships go, and that's exactly how I've gotten some of my contacts. I use their products first usually, you know, and I like them and so forth.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a great shooter or anything like that to be sponsored for shooting, but for doing the show and so forth, that's how I've had a few opportunities, you know, come along too. And I agree, the ambassadorship, I guess is the way to say it, is really what's key, you know, to this hobby. And there's been a lot of great people in this hobby that I've met. You know, including you guys. You guys are some of those great people, you know?
Try to. And then along with the rifles, I mean, Vortex, I mean, that was one of my first sponsors, was Vortex Optics. And that relationship with Vortex Optics, again, it's another Wisconsin company, that started long before I even got into competitive shooting. I mean, I first hooked up with some of the guys who worked for Vortex Optics after I'd gone through my first sniper school, and I was, you know, doing some practicing at one of the Wisconsin ranges that has some longer distances, and I had some contact with some of the employees there that were out doing some, you know, testing on equipment, and I kind of worked into meeting them, going to their factory, you know, seeing their operation, and, you know, getting to test some of their new stuff, you know, using some of their product, you know, outside of that, and on some of my work equipment, and, you know, that just kind of built as we started doing 3-gun. You know, they started helping us out with that, and, you know, it's kind of a really close-knit kind of group when it comes into the sponsorship thing. It's kind of, you're doing a lot of work for them, and they're helping you out.
Right on.
I got to agree with it. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead if you had a question about Vortex. Or...
No, I was just going to say I got to agree. It's a personal relationship. The one of the sponsors I'm working with right now, who we're about to get something going, it has absolutely nothing to do with where I placed in the matches or anything like that. We talked. Me and the rep that was there, we bonded. We agree that we have mutually beneficial goals, and it just kind of went from there.
Yep.
Well, that's basically exactly how we got set up, Toby.
Right.
You know, with me and you working together now, which is something new we're still playing out. But yeah, so it's just getting to meet people and seeing what you can do to help, you know, progress things for them.
Yeah.
So,
at that when she was 11 years old, and we were talking about shooting that Nordic tactical shotgun match. I mean, we happened to squad with an awesome squad there. I mean, we were squadded with Randy Luth, you know, from Luth A, part of DPMS. Mark Roth, you know, the owner of X-Rail, and, you know, Tim Ubel of TACOM. I mean, they were all on our squad, you know, awesome people, awesome shooters, you know, great people to squad with, you know, and they were impressed with Madalyn being there, you know, 11 years old, you know, banging away shotgun after shotgun there. So that kind of led into the sponsorship with TACOM and X-Rail, you know, offering products to help her out, and, you know, they were helping coach her, and, you know, help set up our shotguns after that to improve them a little bit. So that's how we met them. Just this year, we also picked up LAG Tactical, and if you guys watch some of her videos on YouTube, you'll see one of the Polo 3-gun matches where she took off running. You had some 200-yard rifle shots, and then after that you kind of climbed off that roof simulator, and you had to run about another 100 yards downrange to shoot some more targets. And on her long run down there, she lost just about every magazine she had for pistol, shotgun, and and rifle on the way down there. So after that, we had some contact with LAG Tactical, and they custom made some mag pouches for her. And her favorite colors, you can see everything else is green, you know, so they have a little bit better retention than what we were using before. And
right on.
Everything's green. Even the tackle ones are green.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then our last sponsor then would be Hawkeye Ordnance. Again, we met them at a match. You know, Steve and Blair, shooting when we were shooting up in Minnesota. And they helped us out with the shotguns. I did the initial Dremel grinding away and roughing up on the loading port. Then he took it and fixed it up a little and polished it up and smoothed it out for us. So they've been great with that, and they've also taken care of making anything she wants green with Cerakote.
Awesome. So yeah, I think you're doing a great job, Madalyn. We shot together back in May, and I think that I guess one way to put it would be you're a very disciplined shooter in a sense. The safety stuff and everything, and just watching you shoot, you do a good job with it. So keep it up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So on that note, you guys got anything else you want to add?
I would. Oh, them? Sorry.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say one thing. I wanted to jump in here, and Rick, I don't know if this will strike you at all, but I just wanted to wish the best to Ron Felt's family. I know Ron shot at your club a couple of times. Ron was a big ambassador to the sport in our area. He passed away recently. I know he's related to some other people like Diana Lydorf, now Diana Muller, if I'm not mistaken. But Ron was a great guy. He was a great squad mate a lot of times for me. Lost to the sport, but just a great guy. And the shooting sports lost somebody great here this last week.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. So that's kind of a depressing note to end the show on. But my condolences to their family and everything as well. So Ryan, you got anything else you want to add?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, wrap it up, and again, thank you all for being on tonight with us, and for everyone watching and everything, go check out my Facebook, BigGunner81, and we're gonna have a giveaway. Thank you to Thomas and Madalyn and ADM for supplying a bulk carrier group. That's pretty awesome. We're gonna post that up very soon here, and till next time, guys, go out and have some fun shooting.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
No problem. Thanks. Night.